Welcome back to Deb's Big Backyard. We're on the road again at one of my favorite places, Lurie Garden in Chicago, and we're here to find out 5 things that people don't know about Lurie. We're going to connect with the head horticulturist and the director. Let's go find them. So Scott, I'm looking for some dirt on Lurie, and they say that this is a green roof. Where's the roof?
Well, actually, Deb, you're standing on the green roof of Lurie Garden in Millennium Park. Below us right here is 5 stories of parking garage, believe it or not.
You know what I'm going to ask now. I want to see it. Can we go down?
Absolutely, let's go.
All right, let's go.
There we go. This is more or less where we were standing.
That's really funny.
And it's the Quantock spot. We are almost directly below where we were just standing a few moments ago in Lurie Garden. And you see we are just simply in a parking garage. We're on the first floor, more or less, of a 5-story parking garage that's below us. You can come to Lurie Garden year-round, all 4 seasons, and you can see what those plants look like year-round. So you can come in the summer and you can see some beautiful flowering, beautiful flowering yarrow plants, wonderful yellows and the steel gray of the stem and such. But then you can come back in the fall and you can see the beauty that's in the brown of those same plants.
You've got a place that's teeming with wildlife here. What do you guys do?
The philosophy that we have in being an urban sustainable landscape, we have these plants that promote insects, that promote pollinators, butterflies, moths, birds, and all other sorts of wildlife as well.
So if you build it, they will come.
And they certainly have.
How do you get it to come back again?
At Lurie Garden, we balance the artistry of the garden with the ecology of the garden. So at some point, we have to cut the garden down. And a lot of people think that maybe we burn the garden. And I would love to burn the garden, but I can't. Part of it is that we're in downtown Chicago, and some of our neighbors would have a bit of an issue with that.
And they already had a big fire in Chicago, right?
Yes, we don't want to dredge up any old memories, so we want to avoid that. But what we do is we mimic the same type of disturbance that you get from a prescribed fire by actually mowing the garden down. And all of that material that's cut out of the garden will remain in the garden. And what that does is that becomes organic matter and feeds our living, biologically active soil. We use no fertilizer, we use no chemical control for pests, diseases, anything like that. Everything that we do to manage this garden is really based on the concept of a natural system. Only when absolutely necessary do we water. And again, it's that balance between maintaining the artistic integrity of the garden, but then also sort of managing the sustainability of the system as well. Lurie Garden is approximately 40% native plant material though. So it is a relatively high percentage, but it is certainly not a purely native plant garden.
Wow. So what's going on here?
So this is our maintenance yard. This is where we stage all of our plant material. This is where we stage all of our equipment. So this is the Nichols Bridgeway for the Art Institute of Chicago. So we always have an audience above us, but we're actually very well hidden.
Listen, I've been on that bridge a bunch of times and I've never looked down. Because I never realized
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Most people don't look down, or they look out at the rest of Lurie Garden and they look right over all of this space right below us.
So what is going on with it? I can see all the organization of the tools.
Yes, this is our horticultural shed. Mm-hmm. This is where we really store all of our tools. This is where really everything, all the magic that is happening in Lurie Garden, this is where it starts. Mm-hmm. Store all of our tools here. We maintain our tools and equipment here. When we're over the winter and there's not much to do in the garden, this is where we plan for the next season.
Sure.
This is where we even have a small conference table, and we have our meetings and conferences right here in the shed.
So what's the origin of the hives? Like how long have they been here, and why are they here?
So they've been here for a little over 5 years, and we started with 1. We got 1, and then we did really well. So we got a second hive the following year.
How many bees are in these 2 hives?
Well, this is summer, so you're going to have the highest number of them because the population varies depending on the time of year. Mm-hmm. But we're looking at somewhere between 40 and 60,000 per hive. Honey is a great outreach commodity to have. It's Our honey's delicious.
We are actually right now walking over, and a portion of the Lurie Garden's maintenance yard and office is built over the busway that runs from the Central Loop down to McCormick Place on the near south side. For example, when the president is in town, and maybe he's giving a speech on or out at McCormick Place, and he needs to come downtown for a luncheon, the safest, quickest route is not to travel on the surface roads, but to travel on this private busway that's below us.
Wow.
And so all of the buses all day long are traveling back and forth along here.
Do you guys ever like sit down here and look at them and try to catch a peek?
Well, actually, believe it or not, we're always afraid we're going to drop our cell phones or our keys down there.
Oh, that's real. That is very real. Okay. Now that was really fun, and I'm loving Lurie more than ever. I'm Deb. It's been Deb's Big Backyard. I'll see you next time.